Hello and welcome to another video from Norway, from Hellesund Fjord, where we're camping right now. And look what greeted us this morning. This huge ass ship over there, cruise ship, and it seems like they're leaving right now, so that's not too bad, and we have a nicer view. But interesting to watch them cruise around here in that fjord. It's not that big, so it's gonna be interesting how they get out there. And look at that dirt. That's disgusting. What are they doing? They were just moving a bit, but I don't know. Yeah, now they're moving slowly. But also the ship weighs like 11,000 tons, so no wonder it's moving slowly. Crazy shit. Now look at that view, that's way better. And the ship's hidden behind the tree. It's like a tiny ship, it's hiding behind the tree. Nice, beautiful views here. And sun, that's awesome. We are pretty much packed up, only the roof tent is still missing, but we're gonna do that in just a sec. All the other stuff is in the car and we are almost ready to go. I'm just looking what's around the next Supercharger. It seems like there's a coffee nearby, which would be pretty awesome for getting some breakfast coffee and stuff. So yeah, that sounds good. It's about, let me see, Supercharger, 50 minutes to drive, and we'll arrive with 14%. I'll start letting the battery heat up because that's useful to get there. Battery is currently at 16 degrees, so pretty cold. Not sure if that 1 hour drive will heat it up completely. Might not be just enough, but as long as we can get kind of good speeds, that's all right. Our destination for today is Bergen, so let's try to get there. We'll probably arrive at around 4:30 p.m. or so. It's now 10 to 10 a.m. I calculated with 10 a.m. leaving, so should be good. Yeah, that's the plan for now. Car's at 39% state of charge, so we used about 10% for the night, which is pretty good. But it's right now also I can't see it because the camera is in the way. It's quite warm. We're gonna check it out as soon as we leave. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. Let's go to the Supercharger. Alright, we arrived at Supercharger with 16% after 82 kilometers since the last charge, with a consumption of 181 hours per kilometer. Pretty good. Let's hope I'm close enough. Yes, easy peasy. Looking good. We have a lot of V3 on the pellets here. Like, and those are split up. I only know them being like back to each other, and the cabinet in the middle. But here they have like these DC link cabinets on there as well, and over there as well, and over there as well. That's funny, but yeah, so far so good. We are already at 100 kilowatts. You can hear that from the fan ripping at the stall, and of course you can see it here. 158, 170. Gotta love it. Awesome. We got a charge here for 13 more minutes to get to Lavik Supercharger, which is on our way to Bergen, and then we'll charge up there, and then we'll see if we can charge in Bergen while we are there. Should be no problem, but of course Tesla doesn't know all of them, so I'm gonna check that while we are driving. I'm not sure if there's an alternative. That's right before the ferry. There's another ferry. We should check when the ferry leaves so we can time that well. Or, wow, that's quite a long ferry. Or check if there's something here if we're close on time. But yeah, sounds good. Why is there a shop in the middle of the lake? Wild. Alright, sounds good so far. Let's get some coffee and breakfast and stuff, and then we can probably already continue. Alright, we're charged up to almost 80%. That's way enough. We're arriving with 23% at the next supercharger, but we made us some breakfast and got us some coffee, so that's all good. Let's head out. 3 hours of driving to get to Lavik. Damn, that's quite a bit. We are finally leaving that truck in front of us and going over to the Supercharger. It's a V2, so we gotta find a group that's not in use by anyone else, but there's not too many cars, so that shouldn't be too hard. Looking good. Oh, where's that one behind us going? Let's just go to 5B. Then the guy behind us can go to somewhere else. I don't know. Alright, looking good. We're at 23% state of charge with a consumption of 145 watt-hours per kilometer on 182 kilometers of driving. That's all great. We can stay like that. Let's wrap the pod and open up. Bit of a stretch, but it works out. Looking great so far. Also perfect location here, right like next to the ferry port, which is just down the road there. We're gonna charge here for like 25 minutes or so because the next ferry would be here in 10, and we're not gonna take that. We're gonna take the one in 30 minutes. So yeah, looks good. Look at that, a Maxus Unique 6. That's interesting. We've seen some of them before, but I didn't catch them yet. Now I did. All right, we're sharing jobs. My friend's getting us some fresh coffee and I'm getting the car, so we can get to the ferry that's going in 10 minutes. So we don't have to wait for the next one. So yeah, let's run to the car real quick. Unplug right here. Good. Perfect, perfect. Let's jump in. We're charged up to 76% state of charge. Pretty good. We're gonna be arriving in Bergen with 45%, but there's only an AC charger we're navigating to, so won't hurt. We're on a ferry. Let's check out the lounge. It's not an electric ferry. This time it's like 1980s diesel ferry with huge emissions going out of the exhaust, but you can't win anything. You can't win everything. You can win some things. We are on the upper deck and we're already moving. So that's nice. Look at that. Damn. Are they closing the nose? Or the tail end in that case? Look at those tires there as well. Yes. Nice. And it's so warm and sunny out here. We're back in summer. And look, they got like chargers here as well, even though this is not an electric ferry, so I guess they are prepared to replace the ferry at some point, which is nice. I like the effort. That is a view, and that is disgusting, but oh well. I just found out another very interesting fun fact. We are currently on the diesel ferry, as I told you before. Over there is another diesel ferry, also operating this route, but in the port that we're headed to is the MF Ampere, which is the worldwide first battery electric car ferry ever built. It's in operation since May of 2015, has 1 megawatt hour of battery capacity, which can be recharged in 10 minutes while the ferry is in the port. That's freaking crazy. That's 6 megawatts of power going in there. It's a 6C 1 megawatt hour battery. Completely crazy. It has two 450 kilowatt electric motors, and the battery is by Corvus Energy. I've seen it in other ferries as well, at least in the articles about them. So like they did the first battery and were successful with it, and so the other ferries got the batteries as well. The ferry is also equipped with solar and heat scavenging for HVAC, for cooling and heating, which is super awesome, and also LED lighting and stuff for energy saving. But yeah, it's crazy. So probably the other ferries that are being in use in the other fjords as well, they are probably charged just as fast, if not even faster, because with the 2.5 megawatt hour batteries that they had sometimes, they're probably being charged with like 6 to 12 megawatts, which is insane, completely insane. But yeah, love to hear something like that and read something like that. That's super interesting. So sad that we're not on the Ampere, but on this one. If we were one ferry earlier, we probably would have been on the world's first battery electric car ferry. So sad. Charging stops sometimes are sad in that regard. And there it is, the MF Ampere. Super awesome. I gotta write some tweets about that in just a sec. That's so fun. Just arrived in Bergen with 41% state of charge after cruising like an hour through Bergen. 112 kilometers since charge, 149 watt hours per kilometer, and we found some destination charging. And I think that's the first time I found a destination charger. They're paid, so interested how that works, but let's just plug in. And I guess, yep, they are communicating. And we're charging. Gotta love it. Can't we have more of that? Yeah, perfect. And I think it, yeah, it even tells us Does it tell us? No, Levick was the last supercharger. 3 kilowatts. Come on, ramp up. But does it tell us here what it costs? I don't think so. Not here, at least. I mean, we know what it costs because it's here, 2.95 NOK, which is super cheap compared to everything else. But yeah, I'm not sure how they will debit that. But I'm fine with it. It'll work. And there's so many of them. But Tesla, please put in here that it's on level F. I'm gonna write you some feedback because we cruised through the whole parking garage and found it like in the last floor all the way up, and we've been all the way down where we entered. So yeah, that's a bit wild, but so far so good. Let's explore Bergen. All right, so we're back at the car. Look at all those destination chargers, really nice. Let's get in the car and continue. We are charged up to 71%. That's not full, but better than empty. So yeah, we could run around for 1 more hour, but we don't need to. We can also continue and just charge on the way. And yeah, sounds good so far. Let's put in Oslo, which will be our next destination in general. And nice Macan electric. We love it. Super awesome. Very nice. Jump. Jump. Yeah, alright. That boy is still calculating. And it takes its time. For whatever reason. You don't even need to plan charging stops. 479 kilometers, 6 hours and 54 minutes. We're not gonna do that today, but let's see. Are we really going this way? Or should we? Yeah, there's a lot of ferries down there. And we just want these. Yeah, not sure if there's a good different route. We would need to go like 3 ferries to get over here and then use the lower route, but we want to go to like E6 over here, I think. Is that? No, that's not even E6. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna ask Google Maps and Apple Maps as well, and then we'll see what the fastest way is. We just arrived one supercharger early, but I've seen something that I wanted to take a look at. We've driven 174 kilometers with a consumption of 173.4 watt-hours per kilometer. And look at the supercharger we're at. We are at the 2000th supercharger in Norway. And it's got the special livery. That's the first special supercharger I've been to. And the buttons are broken. Come on. Do your thing. Yeah, we're communicating. This is awesome. And we're at 8% state of charge. So pretty low. That's so cool. I love to see it. Damn. Okay, we just went to the front of some path here and look what we found. I don't want to hold my phone so far off, but wow. Damn. That's so beautiful. Definitely worth visiting Supercharger 2000 in Norway. Definitely. And walk all the way out here because wow. If you are afraid of heights, you might not like the platform, but it's really awesome. Really worth it. Look even at the path that you need to go to get up front. It's so pretty. It's half nature, half concrete, but that's all right. With a small little pond up here and some more crazy views up here, but not that pretty. The ones behind are even better. So nice. Wow, damn. It's so worth it. You can see some bits from here. Nope, you can't. You can only hear it. And the water down there. And there's a bridge. We're not gonna go down there and check that out, but maybe in the future sometime. Damn. And a small little bench to take a break and enjoy the views. And there's even more path up there, but it's getting a bit fresh and I think the car is getting a bit full, so we might want to go back to the car, which just warned us about the rear tire tread depth getting low, which I know we're at 86%, so maybe we do have some time to go over there, check that out, because you won't find a better charging spot than this. So you gotta use it to its fullest. There's a small little creek. Is it a creek? It's getting faster down there. Super nice. Okay, we are back at the car, almost. Let's unplug and get going because it's cold. It's getting fresh, but at least we are at, let's see, 94%, still charging with 22 kilowatts, 44 kilowatt hours delivered in 33 minutes. That's nice. 22, 33, 44. Love that. Let's unlock because the button is broken, as always. Chonky. Chonky chonk. Drop. And let's drive some more kilometers to find a nice camping spot in like half an hour to an hour or so. okay, we found a not really optimal spot for the night, but it's better than nothing. So we're gonna unpack now, go to sleep, and then we'll continue on tomorrow to Oslo. Good night. Good morning from a parking lot near Geilo, or how we Germans like to say it, Geilo. We are on our way to Oslo, and we'll be there in like, I think 2.5 hours maybe, around noon or maybe a bit after. We slept well. It's, as I said, not the perfect spot, but there was just no parking lot around because, of course, city and stuff, and you can't sleep in the city with your roof tent. So we just took this spot. There was a truck parking back there last night, sleeping as well, so we thought that'll work, and it worked out pretty well. Our first stop will be a Supercharger somewhere down the road. We're slightly below 50% state of charge, like 47 or so. So way enough to go like 100 kilometers or so easily. Then we'll charge, get some coffee, and head on to Oslo. Yeah, that's the plan for today. I want to visit all the EV showrooms in Oslo, at least all the ones that we don't get, because they're Chinese and not yet in our market, or just starting to be in our market. But the showrooms, if they are somewhere, are like in Berlin or Frankfurt or Munich, and not around my corner. So I want to use the chance, take the chance, and look at all the showrooms. Yeah, that's the plan for today, and we'll see how that works out. I'll take you with us, and we'll see how everything goes. Let's pack up the last stuff and drive on. Alright, I just re-enabled Trip Planner. It told me Supercharger in Gulsvik should be good. There's also a Circle K where we can get some coffee, and from there we should be able to make it to Oslo with only 9 minutes of charging. It's only a V2, but it's 21 stalls. I don't think those are fully in use in like 1.5 hours, so should be no problem. Also, our rear tires are getting low on life. We knew that before getting into this trip, but yeah, now the car also detected it. Still enough to get home safely without any problems. Don't worry about that, it's all good. I have my eyes on it, so it's all okay. Let's head out to the Supercharger. 105 kilometers, just as I guessed. And we arrived at the Supercharger with 17% because we had those campers in front of us all the time. 197 kilometers since the last charge, consumption of 141 watt hours per kilometer, pretty good. We only need to charge for 5 minutes to arrive in Oslo. I guess we're gonna charge a bit longer, but not too far, too much longer. Yeah. All right. V2, but at least the button works. Communication will take just a minute, and then we will be good to go. There's a Circle K here and some rest stop restaurant. We're gonna get some coffee, probably in Circle K because we know it's not too expensive there. And that's probably more expensive. All right, ramping. You have enough energy to continue your trip to here. Great. Continue trip. Frog off. 146 kilowatts, that's all the Supercharger can deliver to us. And 109 more kilometers, 1 hour and 41 minutes. So let's charge to, I don't know, 30, 40-ish%. It's probably enough. I'm gonna look for a parking garage or something in Oslo where we can AC charge while we're there. All right, coffee secured. Car still charging, but pretty much done. At least for what we need. We're at 60% or so, I think. Look at all those V2 cabinets back there. Nicely tucked into the corner while we're charging. Up here, we're also gonna get some air in the tires right now because there's free air up front. I'm gonna put them up to, I think, 3 bars because they're warm now. And then we should be good to go. Let's see. How much juice do we have already? Up to 65, damn. We're gonna be arriving with 40%. That's way enough. We are aired up to almost 3 bar. That was kind of hard to tell with this air meter thing. But yeah, good to go. Better than before, I would say. So I'm gonna look for some parking garage in Oslo and then we can charge there. Alright, we found a parking garage with charging back there. Evini again, just like yesterday, I think. No, the day before in Trondheim. So let's open up the trunk and the charge port. Here we go. And that's plug in with the cable that's below our returnable bottles. Quite some of them. All right. Sounds good. I'm gonna plug in real quick. Quite difficult with one hand, but it works. Let's authenticate. Should be communicating in just a sec. Come on. Flashing green. Lighting up blue. Yes, there we go. And we're charging. Perfect. We will be fully charged in 4 hours. Yeah, that's great. All right. Enough time to walk around Oslo and check out all the EV showrooms for different like brands. We already have some interesting stuff over here. We've got an old Leaf. Okay, so far so good. Xpeng G6, I think. Xpeng P7, which is super awesome. Love that car. But I think it's the older one. Yeah, pretty nice. And an I-Pace over there. And a Maxus pickup truck. But I think it's not electric. I'm not sure. Maybe it is electric. Might be. I don't see it charging. That mirror looks not so healthy. And another Xpeng G9. I don't want to open his flag, but yeah. Interesting. Really nice. All right, let's go check out Oslo. Look what we found here. Fully electric construction site with a mobile battery for charging. I love it. All right, let's check out the Firefly by Niko. We're currently in the Niko house and I have to check it out. Firstly, super comfy. It's a manual seat. Yes, nothing electric, but that's okay. The software is super snappy and super nice. And let's see. Map is super clear. I love it. Let's try to navigate to Karlsruhe, which is close to home. 16 hours of driving, low battery, 1400 kilometers, that's for sure. We're not gonna make this with one charge of 284 kilometers. And we're calculating. And we have 7 charges planned. That's pretty awesome. Tells us how far it is each time. 217, 146, 216, 234, 236, 237, and 201 to arrive in Karlsruhe. Damn, that's awesome. Also, you can swipe here for different songs. You have your music app. That software is super nice. Damn. We don't want radio. We have Spotify or Tidal or Bluetooth or USB. You can check all the DAB radio channels. You have your audio settings and stuff. Car menu. 21 days it is here. And 38 kilometers. That's not even that much. 284 kilometers at 87%. Super nice. Can close the windows, unlock doors, drive modes, different ones, region braking. Wow, that's super nice. Love the car. Also, the materials are super comfortable, super soft. I love it. Right in front of us, we're at the Palace of Oslo. There's a parking garage that's reserved only for electric vehicles. But the traffic light is red. Still pretty cool. We couldn't charge there because they aren't roaming with any of our charging cards, but still pretty nice. As long as my battery is still alive, we are back at the car. We're gonna unplug now and then head out towards a parking space that we found for the night where we can sleep. I'm gonna unplug us real quick and then we'll go. I kinda didn't film as much as I had planned, but also my battery was almost dead now at the end. And I took a lot of photos, so you could have probably seen them on Instagram, and maybe you still can. I'll try to do a story memory thing. I don't know what's it called, but yeah. So far so good. Oslo, really cool city. I will come back at some point, definitely, because I like it. We walked like 14 kilometers or so, or 13, I'm not sure. Yeah, really great. Our parking lot that we found is 1.5 hours away. We'll be there with 38% state of charge. So we're gonna look for a supermarket to get some breakfast at, with some chargers on the way to not start the night only with 40%. Then we can start tomorrow's day with more battery. And yeah, we need to go shopping anyway, so we're gonna use that time to get some juice. All right, let's head out and get out of Oslo right now. Good stuff. We arrived at the supermarket where we want to grab our stuff with chargers. They got Alpitronic Hypercharger 50 is here. And as we're pretty fully charged, we don't need that much more. So let's plug that and use this one. That's a touchscreen now. Pretty nice. Super easy to handle with the cable management. Almost as good as the Camp Power units. Almost. But the parking situation is not quite thought through because you have two plugs here in parallel with the CHAdeMO and two CCSs. Then you have two plugs here, but there's only like 3 parking lots, so, or parking spaces, so where should the second one go? And then there's another one with another one parking lot or parking spot. And that's okay, that's CCS CHAdeMO. But still, that doesn't make any sense. Where should all the people park that can charge here? Kinda stupid. You could make that better recharge. Anyway, so far so good. Let's grab some bread. Alright. We are charged up to 71%. That's pretty good. Flat charging. Come on, give me the details. 50 kilowatts from start to end. Nice. Let's unplug right here. Great stuff. Nice cable management. Love to see more of them because they're cool. Alright, great. Let's jump in and head out the last 20 minutes to our overnight spot. Great stuff. We found a nice parking spot on a nice parking lot with privacy to this corner. And yeah, should be good. That's it for today. I don't think that much happened and I don't think the video is too long, so we're gonna keep the next day in. Tomorrow we are going towards Gothenburg. I want to check out the Volvo design studios and yeah, we'll see what we can find. So good night and see you tomorrow. Hello and good morning to another day on our up north trip. We are today heading out towards Gothenburg and our first stop will be Ionity. Then in Sweden already, and there's a bug in here. Get out of here, bug. Nope. Ugh. Come on. Yeah, there we go. First stop, Ionity in Sweden. Over here at a Circle K, perfect location, I would say. And then we can also get some coffee or some breakfast at Max Burgers. We'll see. probably just some coffee because we have breakfast. The superchargers weren't all on in a good location. So Ionity it is. We're gonna be there with 31%. I'm gonna put the car in drive so it can already precondition a bit better. Then our next stop will be the Volvo Cars Visitor Center, because when in Gothenburg you gotta visit Volvo. I also hope that we might be able to see a Polestar 1 there. That would be super awesome. Maybe we can just drive around the parking lots there. We'll see about that, but that would be pretty nice. Yeah, and after that we hope that the weather will hold up a bit. Looks like it might do. So when it's not rainy, we're gonna visit Gothenburg and maybe head down afterwards a bit, because we got some village somewhere around here, I think, that we want to take a look at because it looked nice. And yeah, our general destination for today isn't even that far away, somewhere around here I would say, to sleep, because tomorrow we're gonna go to Malmo and sleep there somewhere again before heading back home on Fridays, or towards home, our one of 2 long stretches. So yeah, that's the plan for now. Let's head out to Ionity first and get some coffee. And we're about to enter back into Sweden, as you can see just over there, with the nice flag, not flag, the sign, welcome to Sweden. And now we're down to 70 and going through border checks, but we have nothing to declare, so all good. Let's head on to Ionity in Sweden. We have arrived at Ionity in Strömstad, I think. Let's plug in and get the juice. Yes, looks good. All right, got a yank on that cable. One-handed operation. Let's go. Yep, we are communicating. Contactors are going. Starting to charge. It'll take a minute or so. And we are charging. Perfect. We need energy for 164 kilometers. I think it just said something like -30 something, so we charge to probably 60 to 80, something around that, because we have highway speeds now all the time, and yeah, won't hurt to have a bit more. Great, we're ramping up and it's looking pretty good. Battery's nice and warm at 39 degrees, and yeah, we're at 140 kilowatts. That's all the car wants right now, even though it blames the charger for not giving more, but I'm pretty sure it's the car, just as always. Quick look at our stats: 182 watt hours per kilometer for the last 50.0 kilometers since charging last night. Yeah, higher consumptions through highways here. You can see our general consumption for the 7,300 kilometers went down to 186 watt hours per kilometer, which is super great, with the roof tent on top and everything. So pretty good. I'm gonna guess that's gonna go up to 19-ish, probably, maybe a bit above until we're home, but still really good consumptions, way better than I would have assumed before we started. All right, let's go over and get some coffee. All right, got our cafe at Max Coffee Cafe. Our coffee at Max, which is a temporary Max because the real one is getting rebuilt or built or so. And we wanted to have some non-Circle K coffee because the last days, at least my cappuccino was a bit watery, I would say. So I hope the Max cappuccino is better. Maybe also the Swedish Circle K cappuccino is better, I don't know. And what the heck is going on here? Nice Taycan. What? Gas station queuing. Great. Damn. And they say you have to wait for charging. Nope. Maybe only because you can't get to the chargers for all those diesel RVs. Wild stuff. Let's get in the car. We just discovered that one of the villages or sites that we wanted to visit was before Gothenburg. So we put it in and we're driving there now because that should be pretty over there. And from there we will then drive to the Volvo Visitor Center down here in Gothenburg. Because yeah, otherwise we wouldn't be able to see this. Also, we decided to shorten our trip by 1 day because the next days it's gonna be like this, rainy and gray and not really nice. And why should we stay in that bad weather if we don't have to? Because we kinda thought we needed a day longer from Lofoten towards Oslo, but we shortened that part because of the rain and with the ferry at night that you've seen. Through that we won like 3 hours of driving during the day, which saved us a whole day of driving that we planned from the start of the ferry to halfway to Trondheim. And through that we're now 1 day in advance to what we thought we would be, so we can be at home on Friday evening instead of on Saturday. Oh my god, so many days, so confusing. But yeah, that's our plan right now. So we're gonna visit that small nice little village at the coast, then we're gonna head to Volvo to the visitor center. We'll be there at, yeah, I think 2 and 3 p.m. They're open until 5, so should be nice. Maybe we can spot some nice cars. After that we're gonna head to Gothenburg and have a look at the city. That'll be in the afternoon at maybe around 4 or so, and then we still have enough time to drive to Malmö until like 10 p.m. or so to sleep there, and then go over the bridges tomorrow to head towards Hanover, where we then sleep another night in Germany before heading home, because from Malmö to home is a bit too long and we don't want to stretch it, and there we can visit some people and yeah, that'll be nice. So that's our current plan. Quite some things happening here, but yeah, works out, so let's do it like that. We found a charger right where we want to visit the village. Pretty good. But only one side works, I think. Lol. That's battery buffered, and they just plugged it in with the red plug. So if we had an adapter, we could probably just plug in there, but we won't do that. But we could, which would be funny. Anyway, I'm gonna jump out and see how far back we can go without hitting anything. All right, looking good. Let's grab our Shell recharge card. Pretty expensive here, but not as expensive as in Germany, so who cares? Here we go. Let's authenticate here.
Is it? Yes. Is it just? Can we just use a credit card? We don't want to download an app. Around 12 weeks. So we can just pay, yeah.
That's good. Plugins.
It's just plug. No, I just want it. Yeah. We have to pay.
Looking good, I guess. Okay, so we just met some guys that wanted to charge their car there as well. It's a rental Hertz Volvo EC40, and they don't want to download any apps, and that's where we got the problem. Credit card charging. We need that everywhere, and I'm not sure if that works with the charger up there. Currently one plug is out of service and the other one isn't used by us. So but we told them we'll be back in like at most half an hour, probably less, and then we'll check with them together to get their charge going. But right now we are in front at the harbor of this little village here of Smögen, and it's super pretty and a bit windy, but love these like huts, little mini houses there. Super nice to look at. That's what Scandinavia is in my head. Really awesome. Alright, we're back at the car, and I found it still super funny that the charger is just like plugged in here. Super wild. Great, let's unplug by pulling on here. There we go. Looking good. Let's not rip off our bike rack. And let's check real quick. Nope, you can't pay by credit card, only with RFID or app. That's not great, really. That's not too good. But good to know. That's what it is. Alright, we're jumping in and continuing on to Volvo headquarters. Great stuff. We arrived at the Volvo visitor center, and we've already just seen some interesting looking Polestars. You've already seen them just a sec before. So let's go inside and check out what's going on there. Sadly, the customer parking doesn't have any chargers here, so that's sad, but it is what it is. We still have 41%, so not too dramatic. Let's go inside.
Ganz vorsichtig informieren. Vergleich zu sehen.
Alright, so nothing super spectacular inside the visitor center, but maybe we'll see some more interesting things out here. So maybe we'll drive around a bit more, or so. We'll see. Stuff. We found some chargers and I'm checking for length. That's a perfect spot here at the end because that one is perfect for reversing in. Alright, we're now charging with 3 kilowatts, so we have enough time to check out the Seeker space here. They got the 001 and the 7X, I think, here. Pretty nice, love them. We're almost back at the car and we charged a whole 3 kilowatt hours at 3 kilowatts for an hour. Yeah, so we're at 43%, I think. Not super great, but that's enough for now. There's a nice German Taycan over there, pretty cool. Yeah, we're gonna go to IKEA now and we're gonna find some juice at IKEA afterwards, or next to it, or somewhere on the way, because after IKEA, we're gonna go to Malmö. But for now, let's unplug and head to IKEA to get some food. And we are at our IKEA destination. Looking good. And it seems like we can charge here for free. Probably. I gotta see what the sign says, but might be so. So that's good. The sign says something about problems with the charging stations and they hope that they work, but looks good, I would say. Because we're charging. Hopefully not even too slow. What are we getting? We are getting 3 kilowatts. Damn. Okay, but at least 3 kilowatts for free are 3 kilowatts for free. Guess we'll be here for some time. We'll just take what we can get, and otherwise we'll continue to another fast charger later on. But we will be here for some time probably, so let's take the free juice. Nice. They got their IKEA weatherman here. I want that as well. Why don't we have that in Germany? Damn. Perfect, we're done at IKEA. Just unplug with 50% state of charge. Wow, so much. But free juice is free juice, so that's great. Let's put in... Oh, Sentry. Yeah, that's some events happening, but we don't care as long as our stuff is still there. And that looks good. So, let's put in our destination, which is a parking lot near Malmö. So, it's probably easiest to just send it to the car. Because it was somewhere down here, somewhere back here, I think. But we'll see in a sec. Yeah, 50%. That's 2 hours and 45 minutes of driving, so we have to charge possibly twice, once for the night. So yeah, here we go. One charge at 14%. 3 hours and 14 minutes looks good. Then we're there at shortly. We want to be there with 60, maybe 70%. Let's see. Yeah, 2 charges. That's good. Let's do it like that. All right. Then we're gonna head out and we'll be near Malmo later, so we can head towards Hanover tomorrow. We arrived at the Supercharger with 8% with a consumption of 228 watt-hours per kilometer since the last charge, which was in the parking garage at IKEA. 87 kilometers, and we're already charging. Gotta love V3.5 Superchargers, or V4, or no, not V4, V3 Plus or V3.5, whatever you want to call them. Ramping up pretty good. We need 150 kilometers, so probably around 80%ish. 25 minutes to continue the trip. That sounds about right. There's a Max Burger here, but we're full. There's also a McDonald's here, but we're still full. So probably we're just chilling, or we're walking around and checking out what's going on here. Anyway, 25 minutes. Then we can continue. We are at 83%, and as we were just playing some Fallout Shelter, it's reinitializing the route. Here we go. Yes. Great, 15% at the next Supercharger. Should be good. Let's unplug real quick. The button even works. Wow. Crazy. 40 kilowatt hours in 23 minutes. That's great. I'm gonna walk around at the front because at the back there's too much stuff. And then we are very great to go. 1.5 more hours to get to the next Supercharger. Great. Let's go. Just arriving to the Supercharger, which is perfect because it's a pull-through. So we're at 8% state of charge, and it won't focus because I locked the focus. Here we go, 8%. After 152 kilometers and a consumption of 237 watt-hours per kilometer. Damn! You can feel the rain and the wind and the speed of the highway. Oh, I'm on 2x. Wow. Alright, let's grab that boy and plug it in. Rip. We are communicating and we're charging. Gotta love communication speeds of superchargers. Alright, for how long should we charge here? 25 minutes again. Alright, time to play some more Fallout Shelter, I guess. Only 27 more minutes to get to our spot for the night. Pretty good. And yeah, only 33 more kilometers. That's easily doable. But we want some juice for the night and for tomorrow to get away from here. So nice. Alright, we are charged up to 79%. It's gotta be enough. I wanna go. Looking good. I hate those rollers because they never work as they should. Alright, let's go the last half hour because I want to sleep soon. We arrived at our overnighting spot with 65% state of charge. Pretty good. Parking space in the middle of the woods. And I would say that's been it for this video. We are right now at 7,826 kilometers into this trip. It's about 1,000 more kilometers, I think, until we're home. So yeah, but you will see that in the next video, which will cover just our ride home and yeah, mostly highway driving at that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this part and see you guys in the next one. Bye.